one person that was actually very inspiring was Tom Cruise. Okay. You asked for name dropping. Let's go for it. So one of my movies that I did was Vanilla Sky. Okay. And it was the biggest movie I had ever done up until that point, the biggest budget and the biggest star, of course, who's bigger than him anyway. I was on another movie at Paramount at the time, and I got a phone call that said, "Are you on a secure line?" And I'm like, "What?" "Well, I'm on my cell phone, what's going on?" They said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm in an office of Ed Zwick's office," okay, because I was doing a movie with Ed Zwick. And they said, I said, we said, we want to hire you. Maybe we want to interview you for another job. I said, "I'm already on a job. I'm already on a Paramount movie." And they said, "We know more about the situation than you do." And I'm like, "What?" And they said, "Bring your portfolio over here. Meet us at the back gate. You will be picked up by somebody in a golf cart. Do not talk to anybody. Do not tell anybody you are doing this. And we will debrief you when you get here." I'm like, "What?" This is like, I thought I was in like Mission Impossible. I'm like, "Wow, this is exciting." So I take my portfolio over. They pick me up in the golf cart and they say, "Listen, your movie is going down, the one with Ed Zwick. We're not going to make that movie. It's not working out with him mutually. We don't get along. He has a different idea for the movie than we do." And so, but another project, Vanilla Sky, we have to replace the production designer. And so we're considering you. And I was like, "Wow, okay." And it was 4 days before Christmas. And they said, "We are going to fire the production designer and the whole team." That's why they didn't want anyone to know. Fire the production designer and the whole team. And then by the day we come back, January 4th, you have to have the sets redone. And I said, "But that's over Christmas holidays. I'm going to Costa Rica." "And you're firing the whole crew. Who am I going to find to work? Everybody has holidays and vacations and everything. So this is crazy." And they said, "Oh, we think you can do it. We'll help you." So the first day I'm on the set, I look at this location. I don't know if you saw the movie, but Tom Cruise lives in a very elegant upscale apartment, okay? And that apartment is supposed to be in the Dakota, right on Central Park and everything. And he is supposed to be like a Rupert Murdoch type or whatever, a very high echelon, very high status publisher, newspaper, magazine publisher. So I'm like, "Okay, do I have time to research the Dakota?" Normally I would go to the Dakota and go look at things and research it. No time, because I had to get this all done in like four days. Are we doing okay? Or
I love it. This is a great story. Now you've got me on the edge of my seat.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, and nobody was available. I had to tell my family I wasn't going to Costa Rica with them, which I had talked the family into going to Costa Rica, but I said, "It's Tom Cruise. What can I do? How can I turn this down?" They said, "Okay." So anyway, everybody was out of town. I literally went to my neighbor who was a hairdresser, and I said, "I need you to help me shop for furniture for this location." I went to an actor, Xander Berkeley, actually a really cool actor, and I knew he was a fantastic painter as well as a great actor. He was, in 24, whatever. He's been in a million shows. Anyway, and so I had him painting paintings for me over the holidays. Anybody that was not out of town, I just enlisted everybody to help me, whether it was their job or not. And so then I go in the set, and it needs a lot of help. They didn't like what the first production designer had done at all. It did look a little bit like a bordello or like a whorehouse. And so I moved everything out, but I found out that every prop house was closed and every store was closed. So the hairdresser friend of mine went over to like Rodeo Drive and would write a note and put it on the door of a store that said, Tom Cruise needs your furniture, and then maybe somebody would call us back. So all I had been able to get was one white couch, a very elegant, chic white couch. And Xander was painting something, and I was borrowing furniture from friends, trying to pull this huge set together. Then Tom Cruise walks onto the set. And I'm like, wow, I've never seen him in person, but I've seen his face, 50 feet tall on billboards. So of course I was a little bit woozy, nervous, very nervous, starstruck, freaked out. And he came in and he goes, Catherine, we're so glad you took this job. I heard you didn't get to go on your family trip, but I know you're going to do a great job. He goes, listen, you know what Murdoch's house looks like. You've been on his yacht. You've smelled the leather of his chairs. You know the kind of detail I'm looking for. Right when he said this to me, I thought, does he know who I am? I've never been on Rupert Murdoch's yacht or any yacht ever in my entire fucking life. And at this moment when he told me that I'd been on Rupert Murdoch's yacht, you've been on his yacht, you know the feeling of the leather. Guess what image came into my mind? My mother had taken me, I'm from a poor family in South Texas. A year before, my mother took me to the house that I was born in, and it was in Raymondville, Texas. And when we drove up to the house, I noticed there was no glass in the window. It was like a little cottage. There was no glass in the window. As we got closer, a horse's head came out. Nay, it was a barn. At this time, maybe when we lived there, it was a house, but now it was a barn. A horse's head is living there. So when he said to me, you've been on Rupert Murdoch's yacht, all I could see was that horse. Nay, I'm like, I'm an imposter. How can I do this? I've gotten in way over my head. As Tom Cruise is talking to me, I'm having almost like an internal panic attack. Of course, who wouldn't? And I couldn't even get any furniture. Stores weren't even open. How was I going to live up to this? So inside, even in that one moment, I panicked, but then I thought, fuck everybody. I know how to design. I'm going to make this thing look good. He goes, I want this set to look like Rupert Murdoch's house, but better and more stylish. And somehow I kind of dug inside and said, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to prove to him that I can come from that little town with that horse in my house and make an amazing looking set. And so I just like, great. I just nodded. I said, great. I got this. I'm going to do it. And he goes, great. I'm so happy. And on the way, the only piece of furniture I'd been able to get, remember, was a white couch. On the way out, he looked at the couch and he goes, by the way, I hate white couches. Good luck. And he left.